Well, hello. September 29, 2015. A driving vlog for you, and I think I like this angle. I think I like it. Usually I film my vlogs evening and into the night, but today there's just so much in my mind that I have to get off. I have to get this off my chest. And once again, I don't give specifics as to like names and places, just to protect the other people that are being referred to in my vlog. So, the cliche descriptions: emotional roller coaster, emotional puberty. That's a new one I discovered. Years ago, when I went through an intense emotional event, my heart was broken. I was turned down. I slowly closed off my heart and soul, if you believe in a soul. And when I completely closed off my heart, let's say that took a year. I started to feel like I was on top of the world. I started to feel that I was accomplishing plenty. I put on a happy face. It seemed normal. It seemed like I was doing it right. But then I started to fall back into not depression, but despair. I became content, then later becoming complacent. And then the complacency led to me feeling a plateau. And that's where things were so routine that it was boring, and then I wanted to do something else with my life. The passion for Taekwondo that I felt was slowly dimming. Because let's represent passion by a flame. It was slowly dim. It was still burning bright, but it was dimming. The light was dimming, and I noticed it, say, a year and a quarter ago. Because this year is 2015. And in the year 2014, I was introduced to motivational speeches. And a lot of the speeches were talking about don't be afraid to fail. Fail as many times as you need. Because after you fail, get back up and recommit. Because if you don't get back up and recommit, then the failure is a real failure. The failure is something to learn about, something to learn from. No one that is truly successful has never not failed. And others about, put yourself out there. Don't hide in the corner. You put yourself out there. And yes, there's going to be trolls that are going to see, I'm using my own words. They're going to rain in your parade. They're going to criticize you. And so you have to have an emotional immune system. You have to weed out the emotions that make you less focused, and just continue to pay attention to one's. It was a complicated speech, but I get the point to it. I get the gist of it. And what happened is, after a year of listening to that, because of all 2014, I listened to many motivational speeches. 2015, the beginning of this year, I decided to slowly open my heart again. The initial feeling to it was, wow, it was a wonderful feeling at first. Whew, this weight was lifted off my shoulders. It takes so much of my energy to keep something closed than it was to just let it go. If I had to give a time period, let's say after 3 months of opening up, here comes the other emotions that I used to feel. Some despair, sadness, regret. It started to seep in, and it began to eat away at me again. And I almost closed it off again, but then I kept remembering the motivational speeches. You're going to go through some bad times because there's going to be bad moments, crappy moments in your life. But a crappy moment in your life is still a moment in your life. That crappy moment can either define you or, elevate you. Learn why it made you so crappy. Learn why that moment was so crappy, and then elevate yourself so that it won't happen again. Or if it happens again, it won't be so intense of a sting to you. And it was challenging. Challenging. There were some nights when I would almost wanted to just break down and cry. But when I remembered about how journal writing would help me cope with some of the emotions I felt, the intense emotions I felt when I was younger, I remembered, hey, look at this, I have an iPod 5 with a decent enough camera, better camera than I've ever used. Why don't I? Oh, and I watch a bunch of YouTubers. I watch their vlogs. Why don't I create one of my own? Or use this as a tool? I have a degree in psychology. So by making these videos of my truest emotions, I'm putting those emotions out. I'm outputting, not giving myself a chance to close them off again. So I'm outputting, boom, I'm putting it out, put it out. Just like a journal, you put it down on the paper, you write it down. So you don't keep it to yourself, you put it out. And so vlogging like this helped me to develop a stronger emotional immune system. There are a handful of intense emotions that have come back out of the woodwork, they've resurfaced again and are now directed somewhere else. And that's what I'm feeling right now. That's what I'm going through right now again. These are emotions I've felt already. I've felt them before, and they're just as intense as they were before. I find myself unable to focus completely on my work, homework, whatever. It's difficult to focus again. But it's not going to, at least I'll do my best to not let it hinder my work, to not let it hinder my development of myself, to make myself, stronger and tougher. Emotional immune system. It doesn't get them all. Alright, well, thank you for watching. And let's see what I say in the next vlog.